How'd you get in here? This is going to be the start of our songwriting series 3.
Rockin' you since 82.
IronFist.
I was just sitting here having my morning coffee in a giant mug. Mug's like as big as my head. And it came to me that my bandmate, Mike, said we need to do a new songwriting series. And so he left it to me to kick off. And here I am with you for the IronFist songwriting series 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. I have had a little of this coffee already this morning in case you couldn't tell. So I said, what do you want to do? He said, new song completely from scratch. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. We are already hip deep into a new album. You are listening to the albums, aren't you? We are already hip deep into a new album. We just came through our seasonal singles. You know, we got the Spooky tune out. We got the Fistmas tune out. We've been working on a couple of other sort of one-offs. I hope I'm not spilling the beans if I say that we've been working on this song called Dive Into It. So far as I know, that's not slated to be on the new album, so we may just do that as a standalone thing. Anyway, we got all this other stuff going on. And he said, no, let's do a brand new song from scratch. And I'm like, okay. So I'm casting about. I'm like, I'm looking through a notebook and going, here's a bunch of starts that I have. And Mike has been talking to me. I say talking to me. He's been sending me videos. He's been talking to me about his new associations that he's working with, the stuff at Nova Star Radio and Beach Music TV. And I'm like, you know what IronFist doesn't have? We don't have a really cool summer song. And that put me in mind, let's do a summer song. So I thought, what are summer songs? And that immediately put me into mind of summer songs that I love. So 3 quick hits. 1. I think probably my favorite summer song of all is Don Henley's The Boys of Summer. And right away, that's not the right feel for us. I love the way his voice soars when he's like, I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. No copyright infringement, that's like way under 7 seconds. I love all of that line, but the whole vibe of The Boys of Summer is, 1, super nostalgic, because he's singing distinctly about when he was a kid, I assume. And there's all of the nostalgia surrounding like him being the age he was when he made that song, you know. So there's that line about out on the streets today I saw a deadhead sticker on a Cadillac, which is poetry. But at the same time, I don't want to go for that kind of super nostalgic feel. I want something that is approachable from the standpoint that it could be seen as nostalgic, but also is like now and in the moment. So another summertime song I like is Y&T's Summertime Girls, which is very definitely in the moment. Super great lipstick metal candy song. Love the keyboard riff, and yes, keyboards can be in rock and roll. Mike tells me that once upon a time I said there's like no piano in rock and roll, and I'm like, hello, Elton John, Billy Joel, when would I ever have said that? So I think that was an alternate reality version of myself, so I'm going to deny that. Point is, Summertime Girls, great riff in the keyboards, super hooky chorus, very cool. I'd like it also to be something a little bit more of our age, if you will. I don't have any problem singing about, frankly, hot women in the summertime. I just don't want it to be creepy, because creepy is not what I'm into, unless it's Spooky tune. But like old man creepy, young girls at the beach, I'm not sure. I mean, we're a rock band, so we can do whatever we want. The last one, of course, for me at least, is Bryan Adam and Jim Valence's Summer of '69. And that one's, Summer of '69 is funny because it's super nostalgic. It's all about how those were the best days of my life. But it seems like it's applicable for like a broad range. That song came out like the summer between my junior and senior years of high school, and it was everywhere, right? Big hit at the time. And you know, like, I didn't know anybody who didn't love that song when it came out. So it sounds like summer to me. He's singing about guitars. I mean, that's the opening line, right? I got my first real six string. So it feels like it's both of the moment because it was a big hit at the time, but it also plays as nostalgia now that I am, again, the age I am. It plays as nostalgia, and it was nostalgic for him at the time, and yet it was approachable by high school kids at the time. It's a great tune. The production and the kind of stuff that Bryan Adams was doing at the time, maybe a little more Rick Springfield oriented, but still with that driving guitar, you know, it had that great guitar riff. And it's a rocker. If you gave it just a little bit different production, it would definitely be like sort of right up IronFist alley. Coffee. Point being, a summer song that is maybe a little more teenage reckless in its approach, but not presenting us as reckless teenagers, because while we're a long time removed from that. So I'd love a song that has like a Jim Steinman quality, that sort of abandon of being a teenager that's approachable by teenagers and recognizable maybe to teenagers, but also doesn't like de-age us in a false way. I'm going to wrap up this segment and just sort of say that that's what we're after. We're after a summertime song, and I want a summertime song to involve pretty women in a non-creepy way, and guitars and cars and things that just remind me of summer. I mean, Fireflies After Dark is probably just a little too treacly, but somehow, like, maybe it's important to recognize that Michigan is oftentimes referred to as like the middle coast or the third coast, because of the Great Lakes and everything. I don't know, but I think there's a lot that can be mined here.
Thanks, Scott. I think that's a great introduction to this new songwriting series. We're going to wrap it up here on this one, and then we've got another one coming out right away where Scott really gets into the nuts and bolts and the meat and potatoes of what he's thinking about this summer tune. All right, that'll do it.
So with that, coffee, IronFist, summer.
Rock.